Hi kids, hello, wherever you are and however you are watching this, it is so great to be with you again today. Hello!
Hello, kids.
Well, Wally? Well, hey, Wally, I think I have something that might just cheer you up. The big summer blowout is this week!
Brandon, that is pretty exciting, but I am afraid that nothing can cheer me up.
Oh boy. Well, kids, make sure that you guys get signed up. There's a link at the church website and all of our social media stuff. You can have your parents find it all there. Or, just come on Wednesday.
Well, why don't you tell me more about it? Maybe that will help.
Yeah, Wally. Well, it is going to be 2 days of awesomeness. Okay, we're going to be here at the church. We're going to play a ton of games. I heard a rumor about ice cream. And, well, there is my least favorite part.
Well, what is your least favorite part?
The part where all you rotten kids dump gross things on my head.
Oh, I do not like that part either. I'm sure, all you kids, I'm sure you do not like that part either. Maybe we should just skip that part. What do you think, kids?
Yeah, what do you think, kids? We should definitely skip that part. What do you think? Well, I can't hear you guys, so I'm just going to guess that means, yeah, you want to skip that part. No dumping stuff on my head. That's...
Whoa. No, we are definitely doing that part.
Well, Brandon, it looks like we are dumping stuff on you. Joyce has spoken.
Oh, man. Hey, Wally, what's up with you? Why are you so sad today?
Well, Brandon, I made a colossal mistake. A big mistake. It's so bad.
You did?
It's like a mistake the size of the Tecumseh Mountains.
Wait, what mountains?
I cannot believe it. No!
Wally, what happened?
It is so bad, I cannot even speak of it.
Wally! It's okay. This is a safe place. You can tell me. It's okay.
Well, no, it's no, Brian. It's so bad. No, I can't say it.
It's okay, friend. What happened?
Well, Brandon, I forgot to put the meat in my meatloaf.
You forgot to put the meat in the meatloaf.
Now all I have is loaf. Have you ever eaten just loaf? It is absolute terribleness.
Wally, we all make mistakes.
Not this bad. My life is over.
Well, I actually have a little game that might help. I'm going to show you some items, and you have to guess whether it's made by mistake or whether it was made on purpose. Kids at home or at church, you can play along too, okay? Vote that it was on purpose or it was a mistake, okay? Here we go. Item number 1, Slinky. Was a Slinky on purpose or a mistake? Mistake! The Slinky was made by... What? I wonder what they were trying to make. Ooh, all right, item number 2, chocolate chip cookies. A mistake! Who knew? A chocolate chip cookie, the first one ever made, was a mistake. Crazy. Next one, the microwave oven. Another mistake. Who knew? All these things, mistakes. All right, next one, fireworks. Another mistake. Another mistake. All right, last one, potato chips. Mistake. Crazy, right? Mistake. I really want to know what they were trying to make when they made all of those mistakes, because those are some crazy things.
Wait, you mean those things were all created by mistake?
Yeah, Wally, we all make mistakes. You know, our mistakes, they do not define us. They're not the most important part of who we are.
But this one was huge!
You know, Wally, our Bible story today is about a super powerful judge who made some really big mistakes.
Wait, really?
Let's go check out Carl and Andy over at Grow TV.
Hi there, little chicken nuggets. It's me, Carl.
And I'm Andy.
Welcome to Grow TV.
Welcome to Grow TV. Hosted by Carl. Where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now once again, welcome to Grow TV.
What's up, Carl?
Oh, the usual, just living my life, busy as a bee. You know, if that bee had a full-time job and had beautiful, luscious locks. What about you, Andy? Big plans for the weekend?
I was actually going to ask for your help because there's this big summer parade coming up and I was going to...
A parade? Andy, you know how much I love parades.
I do?
Of course, you silly bald man. Parades are like a fancy buffet of entertainment on wheels.
So you'll help me?
Of course, what do you need? Someone flexible? Charismatic? A singer?
Well, I need someone strong.
Excuse me?
Strong. You know in parades when they have those giant big balloons floating around?
Oh yeah.
Well, I just need one more person to hold onto the rope so they don't fly away.
Well, you came to the right guy, Andy. By that time, I'll be the strongest guy around.
How's that? I've seen you break a sweat lifting up an Oreo.
In my defense, they were double stuffed Oreos, okay? Plus, I got a drink that makes me really strong.
That really works?
Well, of course, look at this.
How does that prove that it actually worked and you're actually strong?
Ye've little faith. Observe.
That thing isn't even real. Let me see. See, right, watch. Easier than it looks.
Told you so. Jada!
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Pretty good. I was just telling Andy how strong I am.
Wow, is that true, Andy? Is he really strong?
Apparently.
That's great because today's story has something to do with someone who was also very strong.
Are you talking about my cousin Brock?
Nope.
I was curious because he did watch the end of Avengers like 4 times and didn't cry at all. He's super strong.
Nope. But I was talking about Samson.
Of course, I love the story of Samson. Do you remember that story, right, Andy?
You may have to jog my memory.
All right, well, this story is in Judges 16. Now, when Samson was born, his parents promised to God that their son would commit to the Nazirite vow.
Which was a promise to God, and it also meant that Samson was never supposed to cut his hair.
Carl, you didn't take the Nazirite vow, did you?
Canary to popular belief, I have not.
So back to what you said before. Samson was really strong?
Like crazy strong, like the strongest man on the planet.
How? Did he work out a lot?
Well, it was a strength given to him by God. And as long as Samson kept the Nazirite vow and didn't cut his hair, he would have that strength.
So Samson was a good guy that always followed and listened to God?
Well, like anybody, Samson made mistakes, and he made enemies with a group of people called the Philistines.
Well, they all wanted to find out where Samson's power came from, so they went to the woman that Samson was in love with.
Delilah?
Yes, look at you, starting to remember things.
They offered money to Delilah, and in return, she would tell them how Samson got his strength.
Well, that's mean.
It was, but Samson was smart. When asked where he got his strength, he tricked Delilah 3 times.
Yep, he wouldn't tell her the truth, but eventually she got upset. She's like, you keep lying to me, like how can you love me if you don't tell me the truth?
Yikes, well what did Samson do?
He finally gave in and told her the truth, and when Samson fell asleep, she cut off all his hair.
Then the Philistines came in and took Samson to be their prisoner.
Oh, that's awful. He messed up big time.
He sure did. They took him in and placed him against the pillars of the building the Philistines were in.
And then, can you guess what Samson did next, Andy?
Did he pray?
He did pray. He cried out to God. And he asked for mercy and help to fight the Philistines now that his strength was gone.
And it happened, right?
It sure did. Even though Samson had broken rules and made mistakes, God had mercy on Samson.
And that's exactly what God will do for us. Because I know more than anyone, I've made plenty of mistakes.
Me too, and I know I'm gonna make a whole lot more mistakes in the future. But do you really think that God's gonna forgive us and help us learn from our mistakes?
Of course, that's one of my favorite things that I've been taught. God helps me learn from my mistakes.
Jada, that's our big idea! Today's big idea is God helps me learn from my mistakes.
So let's say it out loud on the count of 3. 1,
2,
3.
God helps me learn from my mistakes!
Yeah! Yes!
And I've made plenty of them. But not as much as Andy.
What?
Jada hasn't, because she's pretty much perfect. So Andy, before we head over to get ready for the parade, you want to grab some tacos?
I don't like tacos.
Hey Andy, can you try to hit this against your head again?
Sure. Hey, you up for some tacos?
You read my mind. See you next week, kids.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Pro TV.
Well, Wally, what'd you think?
So you're telling me that this Samson guy was super strong?
Yeah, sure was. God gave him some incredible strength as long as he kept his vows.
Wait, his vows?
Well, vows are like a promise, but like it's bigger than that. It's like a super big, super important promise.
But for some reason, Samson didn't keep all of these important promises.
Yeah, well, he actually broke every single one of them.
Everyone?
Every single one.
So Samson was super strong, like me. But he also made some big mistakes. Also just like me.
But those mistakes were not the most important part of his story, Wally. Samson really did not do a very good job of learning from his mistakes because he kept breaking all of these vows.
But at the end of the story, God still gave him his strength back one more time.
Yeah, exactly. And a great thing that we can all learn from Samson's story is that we can learn from our mistakes. In fact, God helps us learn from our mistakes.
God helps us learn from our mistakes.
Continuing to love God and to love people, that is way more important than any mistake you have ever made. You know, we all make mistakes. But it's important to remember that God wants to help us learn from our mistakes. And more important than our mistakes is that we continue to love people.
Well, I will have to learn from my meatloaf debacle and never forget the meat again.
Sounds good, Wally. All right, bye. All right, kids, how about a little recap quiz? Question number 1. According to our big idea, what does God help us learn from? A, our past. B, our best moments. C, our mistakes. D, our teachers. C, our mistakes. Question number 2. What mistake did Wally make? A, he pushed an old lady. B, forgot the meat in his meatloaf. C, wore socks with sandals. Or D, forgot to bring Brandon candy. Well, nobody brought me any candy, but the answer is B, forgot meat in his meatloaf. Question number 3. What was the name of Samson's wife who tricked him and cut off all his hair? Was it A, Delilah, B, Deborah, C, Darby, or D, Joyce? A, Delilah. Question 4. True or false? I can learn from my mistakes. True! And God wants to help you with that. Alright guys, I hope I get to see you Wednesday and Thursday at the Big Summer Blowout!